Bad financial mistakes. Let's talk about it.
So what was the number one mistake you made financially when you were younger?
Overspending, buying my friends all the drinks that they wanted, and
I
using
drink a lot of them.
How do you think so many people spend money on in your opinion?
They want to live for the moment. They don't think about the future. And that's the scary thing about it. If you look at the average savings of people that are this age, in their 30s, their 20s, and even their 40s, it's a cataclysm that's about to happen.
Your priorities when you're younger are chasing women or partying with your friends, and you're not really thinking about saving for your first house and the future. So
let me ask you this. What are 3 things you learn about money that you can tell the youth?
Well, first of all, compounding money, how it works, right? Number one. Number two, if you buy a piece of property, it is only going to appreciate. There's going to be ebbs and flows, ups and downs. That's the way it works. You stick with it, you will be successful in the process. And number 3 is pay yourself first. The richest man in Babylon, written pre-Christ days, said, pay the king, but make sure you pay yourself. And if you don't do that, you will struggle the rest of your life just to make ends meet. I want to have the peace of being able to say, I don't want to work anymore. And thank God I did at a young age. Bought my first house at 26. And I own 9 houses now.
That's the way to do it, guys. It is not all about, how high can I rack up the bar tab every single weekend? How much am I going to blow this weekend going out with the buddy? Like, it's just, that's not what it's all about. And trust me, guarantee you, if you ask, you sit down, let's say 100 people that range from 38 to 58, and you ask every single one of them, was spending all that money in the 20s worth it? Or do they wish they could go back and relive those days and set themselves up a little better financially? I bet every 9 out of 10 of them would say they wish they could go back and not blow the money like they did in their 20s. Trust me, I know how easy it is to get caught up, to want to spend, to want to have fun. You have FOMO. You don't want to miss out of hanging out with your friends, going on a night out on the town. I totally get it. And I feel like there are ways that you can do that without having to break the bank, without having to rack up a huge bar bill. I mean, hell, I remember doing it college days. I mean, I didn't have much money to my name back then. So what I did is I would pregame, and then, if guys or people that I met at the bar wanted to buy some shots and I got included, sweet, it was awesome. But I'd always just buy like the cheapest drink there, or I'd walk around with like a beer in my hand or something, so I didn't have to spend a crap ton of money. And then what Homeboy said at the end of the video, how he was talking about compounding money, let money compound on itself, buying a house and just sitting on it and letting it appreciate in value, and then 3, paying yourself first. All 3 of those are golden nuggets. Let money compound on itself by continuously investing that money on the money that's been growing over time. Put it in a taxable brokerage account as well as your retirement accounts, and invest as much as you can every single month. Buying a house and sitting on it. If you can afford or work on saving up money in order to invest in real estate, I've bought a couple properties over my lifetime, and I'm so happy I've kept them, and I don't plan on selling them anytime soon. I mean, hell, I'm wanting to build up my real estate portfolio and add additional houses, so when I am in my 50s and 60s, it'd be nice if I could just live off the income that those homes produce. And then 3, like he mentioned, paying yourself first. Guys, it's one of the most important factors when it comes to finances, because if you don't ever pay yourself, you're never going to have any money left over.
Biggest financial mistake you made in your life?
I sold an apartment. I bought it for $200,000, sold it for $225,000. Today's $800,000.
What? Why did you invest in real estate?
That's the only thing I know how to do. I got many properties. I live off that. It's easy because you buy the house or you buy the apartment, you rent it. That's it.
What's the one habit that you're working on in your life right now?
Getting a couple of more properties so I can be able to retire.
And how much money do you need to retire?
$20,000 a month.
What would you tell the young youth when it comes to real estate?
Start investing soon. As soon as you can buy a $20,000 land, property, whatever, but buy something.
Buy it now.
Right now.
I mean, there is power in real estate, guys. Now, right now may be a little bit hard to invest in real estate given the times that we're in and how expensive everything is, but if we do see prices drop back down in hopefully the very near future, and I'm praying everything becomes more affordable again, that may be time to buy a property. Now, I will say this, if you are looking to maybe buy a home, one of the best ways you can get started in real estate investing is by what's known as house hacking. When you house hack, you can go buy a duplex, triplex, fourplex, or you can buy a single family home and you can rent out those other units. So if you buy a duplex, you live in one unit, rent out the other. If you buy a single family house, live in one room, rent out the other rooms. That is one of the single-handed best ways you can get started investing in real estate today. And the best part about that is if you'd go buy an investment property outright, let's say like you weren't going to plan on living in it, it wasn't going to be a primary purchase, you would have to have a minimum of 20 to 25% down in order to purchase those properties. The best part about house hacking is that you can get in one of those properties with as little as 3.5% down, and in some cases, even less than that.
What has been your biggest financial mistake to date?
Getting a credit card and abusing it when I was like 20 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that, I guess, shocked your credit score?
Yeah, to say the least.
Okay.
And like it takes so long to recover from that.
Yeah.
It came down to not being taught properly how to use it,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah.
And so how has that affected you like now?
I've applied for credit cards then over the last like 10 years, and it's been difficult. I've had difficulties with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So
So what advice would you give to younger you?
search out financial advice, especially for credit cards, and don't use it as a bank card
Yeah,
at all.
definitely.
Yeah.
Pay it off as soon as you can. Yeah,
100%.
definitely. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your
Yeah, have a
time.
good one.
Thank you.
Oh, the joy of credit cards and how we have talked about them on this channel. They can be a great tool to one, build credit as well as to get bonus reward points from, but they can be an instant financial disaster if you just miss even 1 month. People can spiral out of control, use credit cards as emergency funds, all mistakes. And if that's you out there, like if you know you are struggling with your credit card debt, don't have a credit card. It's simple as that. People are overspending left and right every single day because they have access to cash that really isn't theirs. Now, see, if you don't have a credit card, you have to make it off of the amount of money you have in your checking account. It's the best way to budget in my idea. Like if you know you cannot handle these credit cards, and every time you try to use a credit card, you keep going over, you keep having months where you have to pay interest on those cards, do not use them. Live off your checking account. And if you can't live off the money in your checking account, you need to make some lifestyle changes, guys. Like if you realistically cannot live off the income that you are generating in your life and you have to rely on credit cards to get by, you have some lifestyle and income issues. Lifestyle has to decrease, income has to increase. As the man stated, you can get yourself into some very big trouble when it comes to credit card debt. Credit card debt is one of the worst debts you can have out there today, guys. I mean, some of these interest rates I'm seeing are over 30% for a credit card. Think about that. Every year you have debt on that credit card, you're paying high 20s to low 30% interest rate on your money. That is eating you alive.
What's the biggest mistake you made financially this year?
Crypto.
Why? Talk to me about it.
Didn't know enough, and I thought I knew.
What's the biggest lesson you got from it?
You gotta do your homework, man. Don't take cues from people that play a different ball game.
At that time, why did you make that investment when your friends or whoever was telling you to do it?
Interest rates were low. I think that was a pretty good incentive for people to put money into an asset class that nobody knew so much about.
And what are you going to focus on in 2023 now?
I think I'm gonna focus on saving more and doing more financially conscious decisions.
Did you invest in cryptocurrency again?
No.
Yeah, crypto is tricky, guys. So this gets brought up, in my everyday conversation a lot. So a lot of people ask me in the comment section as well too. They said, JJ, do you invest in cryptocurrency? And I do invest in crypto. When it gets compared to my overall net worth, how much I have invested into crypto, I mean, I would say it's probably 1 to 5%, somewhere around there. I don't have as much invested in crypto. Now, obviously, looking at where prices are today, like when I started investing and bought my first crypto back in 2017, I obviously wish I would have bought a hell of a lot more. But still, for me, when it comes to it, I feel safer having majority of my money in tangible assets and assets that are backed by actual businesses. Because although, yes, I understand the future concept and the technology behind crypto, that's why I still buy Bitcoin every single month. Every single month, I dollar cost average into Bitcoin. I don't care where the prices are at because I want to own some of it just in case. right? But as for right now, when I'm talking about putting a large sum of my money, I just still don't feel comfortable yet doing that much. I would rather keep it in. I would rather keep my money in a, like I said, a tangible asset, a physical asset like real estate and stocks or ETFs that are backed by actual businesses, and know that my investments are going towards something that's actually generating revenue. To where with crypto, for me, again, I'm still investing in it, but it's just not something I want to put majority of my money in. So yes, even though I'm still investing in crypto, it's not going to be, for the time being, a majority stake that makes up my overall net worth. I don't feel comfortable doing that yet. And what probably happened to this guy is he got into the craze in 21, and when you get into something that you know nothing about, and then all of a sudden it starts, crashing in price, you start freaking out, then you panic sell, then you lost your money, and then as soon as you sell, it's going to come back up in value, then you're going to buy it at the top again, and it's going to drop right back down. Now you've lost even more money. It's just a lot of people that don't understand how this stuff works. I mean, you can get hurt. You can get hurt if you don't understand exactly what you're putting your money into.
Who I'm here with?
Darius Benders.
Darius, my man. So I have a quick question. What is the biggest financial mistake that you've ever made so far when it comes to money?
Not understanding my credit at a younger age. I feel like I didn't understand anything about financial literacy in general, but specifically credit and how to leverage it. So that was definitely my biggest mistake.
So when it comes to that mistake, what lesson would you actually give somebody else to not make that mistake?
What I would tell someone is early as high school, but if you're in school, they don't teach you that, that's fine. But the first thing you want to learn is how credit works. And I'm not even talking about leveraging yet, just understanding the foundation and what you need to do to get your credit in order, because that's going to open up doors from an entrepreneurial standpoint or just for a general life standpoint. You can't get approved for houses, apartments, even jobs now are checking credit. So you definitely want to make sure that that's a priority at a young age.
I see this every single day at my job. So I'm a mortgage broker, and every single day I'm checking and looking at other people's credit score. And it really is crazy how important this number is to your financial life. Now, if you want to increase your credit score, or you don't even have a credit score yet and you want to figure out the best way to get started, one thing you can do is, although I've mentioned that if you suck at these, do not use this, but if you can manage this correctly, one thing you can do is go, when you're 18 years old, is go out and you can sign up for a credit card. Now, what I would recommend is sign up for a credit card and only use that for certain purchases. What I like to usually say is anytime you need to fill up gas in your car, use that credit card to purchase that gas, and then at the end of the month, log onto your account and pay off that credit card in full, because you do not want to be charged that interest on that balance. And then another thing to keep in mind that will really help you out with your credit score is making sure you're making all of your payments on time. Any debts that you have out there in your name, student loans, car payments, credit cards, medical bills, whatever it is, make sure that you are paying them on time and not making any late payments. Anytime you have late payments, one, if it's close to whenever you're going to buy a home and within the past 12 months, it could hinder your home buying process. But two, it's also going to hinder your credit score. So it's very important to make sure you're making those payments on time.
What has been your biggest financial mistake to date?
Probably getting a credit card when I was 17 years old and not realizing the responsibility of that.
What were you spending your money on back then?
Definitely unnecessary items like cameras, laptops, holidays. Yes, that probably wasn't appropriate at the time, but social media is a big influence now, and there's a lot of advice for financial support.
Definitely. What advice would you give to young people that may be in the same boat and have their first credit card?
Definitely make sure you make your payments on time. Getting financial advice. Yeah.
What did you do ultimately to rectify that mistake?
I made sure I paid back my credit card before the debt collectors were after me.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Man, I feel like we're talking about this a lot in today's video, but to be honest, it makes sense because a lot of people make a lot of financial mistakes when it comes to credit cards. Guys, it's so important. Like I said, credit cards can be a great tool as long as you handle them properly. Do not ever, I repeat, ever pay interest on your credit cards. I've had credit cards since I've been 18 years old, which would be how long ago was that since I've been 18? It'd be about 14, 15 years ago. I mean, I'm 33 if I did my math right there. So that's that long I've had a credit card, and I've never, ever paid a cent of interest on my credit card. And then I also want to mention something really quick that he did talk about on his video that I feel like this kind of goes for everyone, not even just the younger generation, but also the 30s, 40s, 50s, even the 60-year-olds out there. Like, social media and the fear of missing out, or the comparing yourself to other people out there who are buying these big fancy cars and going on these nice trips and getting all these nice things and looking at pictures of their new handbags and night outs at the clubs, and they're just thinking like, how are these people affording it whenever you're in your home barely getting by, right? So much of that is fluff, not real money, and it's people putting themselves in a bad financial mishap by living their life and showing off their highlight reel on credit. So next time you're scrolling through social media and you're feeling that comparison hit, you're feeling that like depression hit because you're like, oh my gosh, why is my life not like theirs? Think about how most of them are doing it. Most of them are able to do that by going into debt. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there who are killing it and, living that life and not having to go into debt to do that. But I would guarantee you most of the time, people are fluffing things up a little bit. So what you need to do is you need to focus on yourself, focus on your finances, and let that be motivation for you to live like that in the future. If you handle your finances now, get your finances in order, start living on a budget, and start working on increasing your income over time by learning new skills or thinking about doing a job change or whatever that is how you can ultimately build the life that you want to live for yourself. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until next video, you all take care.